Shalom, this is Yawanadam with the men of Allah camp. I have to give all praises due to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elders and the elect, or the brothers that's striving to be elect. Um, just a quick vid thinking about Ezra, second Ezra chapter 15. I'm thinking about that, and of course, I'm also thinking about Jeremiah 30 and 7. I'll start with Jeremiah 30 and 7. Jeremiah 30 and 7. Alas, the day is great, so that no one is like it, or none is like it. It is even a time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Now, Jacob's trouble is a time in the time we're living in, well, we're going to come into. And the thing about Jacob's trouble is Jacob being, the lost tribes of Israel, us, we're going to deal with some crazy shit. And this is just the beginning of it. This coronavirus thing is the beginning of it. Um, People don't even know what they got coming, what's in store for them, what's going to be popping. People have no clue. It's going to be crazy. But Jacob's trouble is going to be a time where we're getting destroyed, where we're getting, where we're going to be poor, where we're not going to be eating, where we're going to have to make some decisions to make, and we're going to have to pick a side. Um, of course, myself included. I always have to start or begin with myself. But so we're talking about Jacob's trouble. Um, and a part of the reason, or part of the things that we can expect in Jacob's trouble, brings me to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, starting at chapter 15. Now, I won't go through all the curses, but just to give you an idea of what it means. It says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed shall thou be in the city, cursed shall thou be in the field. So cursed shall thou be in the city, like just wherever we go, whether we in the city, whether we in the field, it don't matter. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. If you realize, a lot of times black people aren't able to sustain a business, especially American jakes. But we're not able to sustain or keep a business, or something always happens, and it's like, cursed be thy basket and thy store. How is it that we're the most creative and do the most, but we can't keep a business? Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind and the flocks of thy sheep. Cursed shall thou be when thou comest in, and cursed will thou be when thou goest out. So when you're born into this world, when you leave this world, you cursed. Um, the Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke, and all thou settest in thy hand unto do for to do, until thou be destroyed and until thou perish quickly, because the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. The Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee, until he has consumed thee from off the land, whether thou goest to possess it. And I read an article, or a quick, brief article earlier about the coronavirus and how, pardon me, um, scratcher, um, it's all look crazy. Coronavirus and how African Americans are like 70% of it in certain areas. Like we're getting jacked up with the coronavirus, and mainly because we have a lot of underlying health conditions, but also because um, probably our health care isn't the best. A lot of us have to go to work because we don't have those types of jobs that allow us to just sit in the house. And some of us are fortunate to be able to do so currently, but we're high in that. So I shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee. The Lord shall smite thee with the consumption and with the fever and with inflammation. Kind of just gets to my point, although I didn't even know that was the next scripture. And with an extreme burning and with the sword and with blasting and with mildew, and they shall pursue thee. Oh God, promises, pursue thee until thou perish. And thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth under shall be iron. Let me see. Uh, Let me skip to 25. The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thy enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and thou shalt be removed into all kingdoms of earth. And thy carcass shall be meat unto all fowls of the air, and unto the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray away. Man, so I mean, you get the grit, the grasp of it. That we getting jacked up. Verse 31, it says, thy sons, it says that, well, actually, go to 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. You see what type of adultery is going on in this world. Thou shalt build the house, and thou shalt not dwell in there. That goes without saying. Issachar do that all day. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and thou shalt not gather the grapes thereof. Slavery is a time when we weren't able to do stuff like that. Skip to 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day, and there shall be no more might in thy hand. So just like think about that, like that's crazy. Just skipping to 37, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee. So we're going to be an astonishment, a byword. So this negative is nothing but negativity when it comes to G. Verse 41, thou shalt beget sons and daughters, and thou shalt not enjoy them, and they shall go into captivity. Like, there was nothing good about this. And this is talking about when we went to slavery. So now when we talk about Jacob's trouble is now. So I'll go to 2nd Esdras chapter 15. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee, and let not the incredulity, if I'm not mistaken, of them trouble thee that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful should die in their unfaithfulness. And I mean, even starting with myself, we gotta keep our faith and try to build our faith up and trying to cleanse ourselves from our wickedness and our thoughts and our impurities. Because we will die in our unfaithfulness and our wickedness. And like I said, I start with myself. I'm always the first. I gotta be accountable for me, regardless if I'm right or wrong. And hopefully, even if I'm wrong, hopefully somebody learned from my mistakes. In a funny worldly term, Hov did that. So hopefully you don't have to go through that. Although, that could be even used by Yahweh Shai, like, he went on that cross, so we didn't have to do that. So, I mean, even though he was talking about himself, Jay-Z, but, I mean, that can be used in that instance as well. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Listen. Right now, we're just getting pestilence and plagues. We get that coronavirus is a plague upon the world. It's ripping through the globe. It's a pandemic. The sword, death, famine. Well, the sword hasn't come yet, because a lot of stuff about to go down by force with these military troops. Famine. These grocery stores got lines now. Just imagine a month ago you weren't standing in line for groceries. And it's only been a month. So just imagine how crazy this shit about to get. Famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. So Lord is saying enough. Your hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more, as touching their wickedness which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. So that would be the righteous brothers, whether you see them out on the highways and byways teaching, whether you see them on the internet, whether you see them or not. But, it might be just someone praying to the Most High. But, just sighing and crying and continually just asking the Lord to get us out of here. He sees that, and he's going to reward them, and he's going to save them. And therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them to dwell in the land of Egypt. And this is the land of Egypt again, because this is, the land of bondage. So this is second Egypt, spiritual Egypt. Um, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before. Key word or key term, as before. So remember before a moment ago, I was talking about Egypt. When we talking about slavery and even, pardon me, slavery, even talking about the time of Moses and talking about, 400 or 500 years ago when we was in captivity in America. So those was talking about then. This is talking about now. Um, so, and I will smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land before. So Egypt, this is going to be destroyed. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that God shall bring upon it. They that shall ground, that till the ground shall mourn, for the seed shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a tearful constellation. So that's famine. Woe to the world and them that dwell in it. Woe to the world, not even certain people, the world. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. So it's on the way. The destruction is on the way. The Lord is coming back. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand. So it's going to be some drama. It's going to be some trouble. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and in the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So it's going to be people breaking into shit, killing each other, fighting for food. Darwinism, survival of the fittest. That's real. People. Self self preservation. For that's what that is. It says a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Right now, this is the United States where there's no borders, and right now you can't go nowhere. You gotta have permission to go places. It was never like that. So that's telling you it's getting there. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and the men shall be afraid. So everyone's afraid right now. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with swords, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So that neighbor that you laugh and joke with and ha ha and kiki with, he gonna be like, fuck that, give me that. That's what time it is. Behold, behold, say God, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising sun to the south of the east and Lebanus, to turn themselves one against another and repay the things that they have done to them, like as they do yet this day until my chosen. So I will I will do also and recompense their bosom. Thus saith the Lord. My right hand shall not spare the sinners, and my sword shall not cease over them that shed innocent blood upon the earth. So sinners, that includes me. That includes anybody that sins. That's why a lot of my videos have been about sinning willfully and trying to get back on the right track, because we gonna fall. And I know I've sinned, and I've sinned willfully. Just not having enough self control. Um, you know, and I gotta pay for that. Just being accountable. I mean, scriptures they do say, confess thy sins to thy brethren. But nonetheless, like I've been that guy. I am that guy, and I need to be better at that, and I want to be better, and I'm going to deal with consequences for it. But whoever can hear this, whoever can see this, learn from me, learn from the next man. That's what we're here for. We here to be examples to each other. The fire is going forth in the wrath from his wrath, and have consumed the foundations of the earth and the sinners, like straw that is kindled. Woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, saith the Lord. So, like I was saying a moment ago, like whatever I did, I got to pay for. Whatever you do, you got to pay for. We got to pray for forgiveness, and we got to remember. Sometimes, so many things can be on your mind that you can just forget. And you can't forget about the Lord. You got to come back to the Lord. We got to come back to the Lord. I got to come back to the Lord. So woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, saith the Lord. I will not spare them. Go your way, ye children, from the power, defile not my sanctuary. For the Lord knoweth all them that sin against him, and therefore delivereth he unto death and destruction. So he knows. For now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them. For God shall not deliver you because you have sinned against him. So That's something that we all gotta pray that doesn't happen to us, but it can happen. No man dies innocent, and we have to keep that in mind. Behold, a horrible vision, and the appearance therefore from the east. Let's see. I don't think I got much more to say into that. Um, yeah, I don't have much more to go into that. But I mean, the point is, I think, pretty clear here, man. Jacob's trouble is coming. Plagues, pestilence, famine, death, destruction, all that is coming. It's here. We're seeing it. We're witnessing it. Like I said, that could start with me. That could start with anyone. But Lord willing, we find a way to get up out of that. Lord willing, He have mercy on us. Lord willing, we get our minds right and we find self control and we figure out ways to fast and ways to kill our demons and to starve our demons. Lord willing, He allows that because He can give us a way to to reprobate spirits and minds and not allow us to come back into the fold or not allow us to redeem ourselves, and that's totally okay with Him. But at the end of the day, man, we know what we got to do, and we got to be better. So just Jacob's trouble is coming. I start with myself. I got to get right. We got to get right, and we're gonna be out of here soon. The end result gonna be peace regardless. Um, like my boy Kobe. Kobe Kobe had a discussion with Ron Artest, the Meta World Peace, and he said that once he changed his name to Meta World Peace, he was acting all timid and playing scared and like, yeah, I don't want to hurt nobody. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And Kobe was like, well, your name is Meta World Peace, right? And he was like, yeah. He was like, well, how do you think peace is accomplished? Through war. And that's what we're going to go through. We're going to go through war spiritually. We're going to go through war physically. Um, and Lord willing, we survive it. So the next time, all praises to the Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.